What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and having a great day. It is a little bit rainy outside right now. It's drizzling, but we do have a little glimmer of hope right there, and that is the reason I have my rain jacket on today. But a little bit of rain is not going to stop us from reviewing the BMW X7 M50i. Huge thank you to Julius Green over at BMW Sterling of Sterling, Virginia, for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular X7 or any BMW or Mini product, I'll be sure to have his information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. Before we talk about the exterior and performance, I greatly appreciate it if you guys would give this video a big thumbs up, as well as leave a comment in the comment section down below and subscribe. All those likes, subscriptions, and comments really help boost my channel in the YouTube algorithm and really help me make this dream a reality of making these YouTube videos for you guys. But let's talk about the exterior and performance. So this particular BMW X7 M50i is painted in mineral white metallic. But let's start over here at our headlights, because we do have LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, automatic high beams. You also do get cornering lights as well. Just below your LED headlights is where you will find your LED fog lights. Just to the left of your LED fog lights, you will find your big X7 grille. And BMW calls this the metal look grille, but if I was to describe it, I would call it like a graphite gray type of color. On the bottom of your front bumper, you will find your two lower outer grills, as well as your middle grill here in the center. Those outer grills are painted in black, and your middle grill at the bottom of the bumper is also in black. You have 6 frontal view sensors. So you got one right here, here, right there, and then you also have one right here, here, and here. So 6 front view sensors total on the front end of the X7, and just in the center of your big grille is where you'll find your forward facing camera. Just above that you have your BMW badge. This thing looks really sweet, and I'm a huge fan of the way that this X7 looks as compared to like the Mercedes-Benz GLS. I think the BMW looks 10 times better. Just looks a lot more sporty, and it's not so rounded. This thing kind of has more of an angular type of design, which I think looks a lot better than the GLS in my personal opinion. But right here is where you'll find your 22-inch cerium gray wheels, and just behind your wheels is where you'll find your blue M Sport brakes. Looks absolutely fantastic in my personal opinion. Just to the right of your wheel and tire setup is where you'll find your metal look power heated side view mirrors with auto dimming driver mirror, as well as they are power folding. And just below your mirror cap is where you'll find your integrated LED turn signal. That is your side view camera that goes along with your 360-degree view camera. Blind spot monitoring on the upper left hand corner of the driver side mirror and on the upper right hand corner of the passenger side mirror. Taking a look at the roof, you do get black roof rails. Just below that you have your black window trim surround, body color door handles, and then at the bottom of your passenger doors is where you will find your metal look body side insert. That's what BMW calls it, and that's what it is. And like I said, it is a graphite gray type of color. Here is a side view of the X7. Like I said, this thing basically looks like a stretched X5, but it looks absolutely fantastic. You guys can see that big second row door, and that is because there is tons of room in the back of this X7. 22-inch wheels again, and then your metal look body side insert follows through to the rear bumper as well. Taking a look at the rear end of the X7 M50i, you do get LED taillights, LED turn signals, and LED backup lights. At the center of your power liftgate is where you'll find your rear view camera. Just above that you have your BMW emblem, and then on the left hand side you get your X7 emblem and your M50i emblem on the right hand side of the power liftgate. Another metal look trim piece just below your X7, BMW, and M50i badges, and it intersects through your LED taillights. It looks really good. One thing that's interesting about the X7 as well as the X5, as a matter of fact, is that it is a 2-piece trunk. So if you guys do want to open up the trunk, put your hand behind here. The top half of the trunk will open. If you guys want the full trunk to open, you can come here and push this button right here, and the bottom half of the trunk will open as well to reveal tons and tons of storage space back here. This does have the cargo cover, so nobody can see what you have in your trunk, but we do have like this stuff in the back, so I'm not really gonna mess with the third row of seating. But if I move this and I lift this up, get a little bit more storage space down under there. Actually, a lot more storage space down under there. But I'm not gonna mess with it. This is like the cargo stuff back here. But right over here, you can control the second and third row seats. So if I pull down, I believe on this, or I push forward, that second row seats will come back. You can also drop these second row seats, but there is this stuff in the way, but you can see that that second row seat is folding. You can fold as well as raise the second and third row seats, but because this stuff is in the back, I'm not going to mess with it. But coming back over to here, push this button again, and this will fold right back up. I can also lower the rear end of the X7 by pressing on this button right here, and the rear end of the X7 will drop. So that's a really nice feature. So it makes it a little bit easier for those of you guys who are short, or gals who are short, and you're trying to load something into the X7. It lowers itself, so it makes it a little bit easier to get either, you know, your old dog in the back, or, you know, some type of cargo that's a little bit heavy for you guys. But push this button right here, and the top half of that power lift gate will fold. This does have a rear view camera, but this also does have rear view sensors for 6 total. One right there, one right here, here, there, and over here as well. Again, just above your exhaust tip is where you'll find the metal look trim. Same thing goes for on the passenger side above that exhaust tip as well. You do have a quad tip exhaust, however, it kind of has this like metal look trim piece around the exhaust, so it looks like a dual exhaust. However, it is a quad exhaust. So you got 2 right here and 2 over here as well, but you really got to look close, otherwise you won't be able to tell that it is a quad tip exhaust. But if you guys were wondering about the tow capacity, or the max tow capacity of the X7 M50i, the max tow capacity of the X7 M50i is 5,950 pounds, which is actually a good amount of weight. But how many of you guys are going to be towing with your X7? I really don't think that many, especially the X7 M50i. I really don't think that many of you guys are going to be towing, but that's just my personal opinion. Capless filler neck on the passenger side of the vehicle. Push on that and it will open up. 91 octane is recommended. But closing that, do a little walk around of the M50i before we move into performance. Let me know what you guys think of the X7 M50i in the comment section down below. Do you guys think the V8 is worth the extra cost? In my personal opinion, if I had the money, I absolutely do think the X7 M50i is worth the additional cost. But like I said, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think. But with that said, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 4.4 liter twin turbo V8 that makes 523 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in a blistering 4.1 seconds. Now, the fuel economy, you can achieve 15 miles per gallon in the city, 21 miles per gallon on the highway for 17 miles per gallon combined. But if you guys are getting the M50i, I don't think that you guys are too concerned with the fuel economy. But if you guys are enjoying the video so far today, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button, and please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Like I said, all those likes, subscriptions, as well as those comments really help me bring my channel to the next level on YouTube, and really help me make my dream of doing this YouTube thing a reality. But with that said, let's move into the interior. All right, guys, moving into the interior. I mean, this is a BMW after all, so you do have keyless access. All you gotta do is have your key fob in your pocket or in your hand, whatever you want to do. Walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You can tell that the vehicle unlocks because it gives you 2 beeps and the side view mirrors fold out. If you guys want to lock the vehicle, run your finger across these 3 hash marks right here and the vehicle will lock. You can tell it locks because it gives you 1 beep and it folds in the side view mirrors. But put your hand behind here and again, it will outfold the side view mirrors, and you get 2 beeps to let you know that it is unlocked. At the top of the door panel, you have a leatherette type material with some light gray accent colored stitching. unlock and lock button, aluminum door handle right here. This can bring either the seats of the second row forward or backwards. You have 2 memory seat adjustment settings. This is for your massaging seats. I'm not quite sure what this button does, but I believe it may control that side view seat. I'm not 100% sure. So if you guys know what this does, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Right here, this will open up your trunk. So if I push down on it, the trunk will open up. If I pull up on it again, the trunk will close. You can see the bottom half of the trunk closed. Pull on it one more time and the top half of the trunk will close as well. Just like that. Here are your mirror controls. So if I press this button, the side view mirrors will fold in. Press this button again and they will fold out. You can switch this to the right to control the mirror and you can adjust it how you want. Push it back to the left and now you can control this side view mirror. You have automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners. I mean, after all, this is a BMW X7. This is for your rear window shades. So if I press that button, the rear window shades will go up, and this will lock the passenger side windows. Tons of storage space at the bottom of the door panel, and you can fit a smart water bottle right there. But let's step into the interior. You have a beautiful door sill right here that says M50i, and it is in aluminum. It looks absolutely fantastic. Obviously, you have a power driver seat and a power passenger seat. This particular M50i X7 does have the $1,000 extended merino leather upholstery in black. So let's take a look at that beautiful quilted leather upholstery. These seats are also ultra comfortable. So if you guys are getting one of these, you might as well get it with the extended merino leather. I mean, it feels really premium to the touch. And at the end of the day, it's only another $1,000, only another $1,000. I'm gonna take off my jacket real quick because I am getting a little bit hot. Now that I have my jacket off, I feel a lot better. So let's close this door and let's fire up the X7 M50i. You'll be able to hear that beautiful twin turbo V8 fire up. Put your foot on the brake, have your key fob in the interior and push to start. You guys can hear that beautiful V8 roar to life. So right over here, you have all your light controls. This knob, or scroll knob, I guess you could say, is to adjust the brightness of this backlit screen as well as your backlit buttons. Right over here, you have your high beam control. So press this button right now. I can turn my automatic high beams on. Push that button again, they turn off. So you can do it pretty much exactly how you want to. You guys can hear it came off of idle and it got a lot quieter. But this is your turn signal stalk, so push it down. That's your left turn signal. Let's take a listen. That's what your turn signal sounds like. This button right here that says BC, if I press that, that will bring me throughout my screen so I can adjust what's on the right hand side of the screen. And right now we're in comfort mode. You can see what mileage we have, the horsepower and torque figures, G meter, blah blah blah, whatever you want to right there. But right now, this is kind of the screen that I like to have it in. Fuel gauge right over here, that is your fuel range. That's what time it is. This is your speedometer. That's your digital speedometer readout right there. That's what speed limit it is. It's 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. That's where we are right now. X7 M50i. And right over here, you have your RPM gauge. P lets us know that we are in park. That is the ambient exterior temperature, and that is your coolant temperature right there. So you can see at the center of the screen, it kind of gives you a navigation readout. So that's pretty cool. Beautiful leather wrapped steering wheel. So this does have the $1,100 cold weather package, which includes a 5-zone automatic climate control, front and rear heated seats. This also does have a leather wrapped and heated steering wheel. I'm going to turn the AC on here real quick because it is pretty hot in here. But leather wrapped steering wheel, downshift paddle on the left hand side of the steering wheel. You got your upshift paddle on the right hand side of your steering wheel. Right over here, you have your windshield wiper control. Pull back on that, that washes the front windshield. Push forward on this just like that to wash your rear glass. So that's what that can be done. You can also go through your intermittent windshield wiper stuff. You can have windshield wipers on automatic, which is a nice feature. But back to the steering wheel. This will turn on your heated steering wheel. Here are your adaptive cruise control as well as your lane keep stuff right on this side of the steering wheel. And these buttons control like your phone stuff as well as the volume. What these buttons do. These can go forward or backward on a track. This will bring you to an information screen, and that is to speak to the vehicle. You have your M on the bottom of the steering wheel. Beautiful digital gauge cluster that we just walked through. Just to the right of your gauge cluster, you will find your 12.3-inch infotainment screen that is touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Beautiful ambient lighting just below that. You get ambient lighting throughout the entire interior. Beautiful wood grain trim. And actually this is called ash grain black with matte bronze effect wood trim. I don't really see the matte bronze, but it is a beautiful black piece of wood, and you can see the wood grain in it. If you guys want to control the screen without touching it, you can come over here to this scroll knob as well as these buttons. So press home, that will bring you to your home screen. Twist this knob and you can see it brings you throughout your screen. Twist over to the left, you can control basically whatever you want to with this knob right here. I'm not going to get too in depth with it. Traction control off. This will bring up your 360-degree view camera. Right over here, this will turn your parking sensors on or off. You can either have them on, you can either have them off. You can brings you to that screen to control that. This is auto stop start on or off. You have a beautiful crystal gear shift lever. You can see it says X at the center of that, and that is illuminated. Push to go into park. Push forward with your finger on this button to go into reverse. Pull back on that to go into drive. Push forward once to go into neutral. Again, push P to go into park. This is a push to start vehicle, so press that with your foot on the brake and the vehicle will fire up. This will put you in sport mode, this will put you in comfort mode, this will put you in eco mode, this will put you in adaptive mode. This is auto hold, so if you guys are stuck in traffic and you guys don't feel like pushing your foot on the brake by yourself, put your foot on the brake, push that, and it will hold you in place. Electronic parking brake right here, hill descent control right here. This will raise and or lower the suspension because this is an air suspension vehicle, so that's really, really cool. Wireless charging pad down in there, USB-A port, 12-volt power outlet right here. Get 2 different cup holders, and you can either keep your drinks cold or you can press that one more time and you can warm up your drinks. So that's a really cool feature, and that goes for both the driver cup holder as well as the passenger cup holder. Pull backwards on this and now you got all your wood grain trim, and it looks absolutely fantastic and very, very simplistic. Right up top here are all your different climate control stuff. So if I turn this on, you get your little climate control screen right in there. This is your hazard button. This button turns on all your different safety equipment on the exterior of the vehicle. 2 HVAC vents, another HVAC vent over there, HVAC vent over here. This also does have the $1,100 luxury seating package, which includes front ventilated seats as well as front massaging seats. This also does have the $1,300 executive package, which includes heated and cooled cup holders like I just showed you guys, as well as panoramic sky lounge LED roof with glass controls. So as you may be able to notice, I don't think the GoPro will pick it up, but here is your ambient lighting. So I wish this was at nighttime so I could show you this, but you can see these little dots in your panoramic moonroof. If you guys want blue ambient lighting, it'll light out all your ambient lighting in blue, all of this stuff in blue, this in blue around here, but this will also light up in blue, which is a really, really cool feature. You also do have a full Alcantara suede headliner. Pulling this down, obviously you have a vanity mirror with vanity light. The same thing goes for the passenger side as well. Slide this thing backward, vanity mirror and a vanity light. SOS button right here. If I press on this, this will turn on my driver side light. Press over here, this turns on the passenger side light. You can also control the shade in the back. So right now the shade is opening. If I press this button again on the right side, that will close the shade for the third row passengers. This will turn on all the LED dome lights. This will open and or close the shade for this panoramic moonroof as well as this panoramic sunroof. So this panoramic sunroof opens, the one in the third row is fixed. This lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. But opening this up, good amount of storage space down in here, and you have a USB-C port. Closing that, one more thing, you have an auto dimming rear view mirror right here. This also does have the 16 speaker Harman Kardon sound system, which sounds absolutely fantastic. But I did want to read to you guys a couple notable features that I thought you guys might want to know that this does have. This does have a heads up display right there. This also does have gesture control. So if I twist this or go like this, you can hear the radio turns up. You can twist that back to the left and the radio turns down. If I go like this, this will switch between a track. So I can go like this. Now it's going to a different radio station, but if I was on Bluetooth audio, this would switch, like go forward on a track. This would go backward on a track. So I can go like this one more time. that will go back to the radio station, and or that would skip me 2 songs backwards. This also, like I mentioned, does have the full Alcantara suede headliner, as well as a heated steering wheel, 16 speaker Harman Kardon sound system, that wireless charging pad that I showed you guys, as well as a Wi-Fi hotspot. But I'm gonna pull up my computer here real quick because I want to read to you guys some of the safety features that this vehicle does come with standard. So those features include the 360-degree view camera, as well as outboard front lap and shoulder safety belts, including rear center 3-point height adjusters and pre-tensioners, rear child safety locks, driver and passenger knee airbag, airbag occupancy sensor, curtain first and second row airbags, dual stage driver and passenger front airbags, tire specific low tire pressure monitor, aerial view camera system, 360-degree view camera, parking assistant plus automated parking sensors, driver monitoring alert, collision mitigation in the front, lane departure warning, frontal collision warning with city collision mitigation, and cross traffic alert in the rear. Active blind spot detection with blind spot monitoring, dual stage driver and passenger seat mounted side airbags, side impact beams, ABS and driveline traction control, and electronic stability control and roll stability control. So I thought those were some features that you guys might want to know about. But let's open up this locking glove box. You got a good amount of storage space down in there. You can definitely fit your owner's manual, as well as some napkins, straws, and whatever snacks you guys want. Like I said, front seats are heated as well as ventilated, but let's move into those second row seats and see what's going on in those second row seats. So opening up this door here, I'm going to press the unlock button just in case these second row seats are locked. So now they are unlocked. So let's take a look at this door panel right here. Some leather wrap material at the top of the door panel, as well as a really nice leather wrapped and padded armrest with some light gray accent colored stitching. Aluminum door handle right here, that's your Harman Kardon speaker surround, another Harman Kardon speaker surround, some wood grain trim right here, some aluminum trim with your ambient lighting right there, and you have a spot to set a smart water bottle, as well as tons of storage space down in there. M door sill right here in a brushed aluminum. You can control these second row seats. They are power, as you may be able to notice, so I can push them forward, I can push them backward, I can also recline them power. So if I want to do that, recline it backwards and power, which is really sweet. So let's sit in these second row seats. These second row seats are ultra comfortable. I got plenty of leg room, and I can even push these seats back even more if those third row seats were up, as well as if that stuff wasn't in the third row or in the trunk, excuse me. USB-C port behind the driver's seat, USB-C port behind the passenger seat, seat back pocket behind the driver's seat, seat back pocket behind the passenger seat, 2 HVAC vents right here. Like I said, this is a 5-zone climate control system, so this person can have their temperature, this person can have their temperature, I can have my temperature in these outboard seats, this person can have their temperature in the second row outboard seats. So these two people can have their own temperature, these two people can have their own temperature, and then the third row is another zone climate control. So 2 right here, 2 right here, and then the third is all walloped into 1. So pretty dang cool if you ask me. Like I said, these 2 rear seats in the second row are heated on the outboard seats. Spot to set a phone down in there. You have a 12-volt power outlet right here, as well as 2 USB-C ports down here. Center fold down armrest, so I can fold this down, open this up, and I have 2 cup holders right here, as well as some more storage space. Closing that, that's what it's like, and that is my view out of the panoramic roof. So I want to open or close this door here real quick, because I can control the panoramic view from this. So I can close the shade from the second row of seats, which is awesome. So that's all I got to do. If I want to open it up again, I press this button right here, and it will fold, or excuse me, retract backwards. If I want this row, the third row panoramic moonroof open, I can press this button right here, and I can close it. I can press that button again, and I can open it up again. If you guys want to see what's going on in those third row seats, I'll link my other video to a 2021 X7, but it is a 40i, so it doesn't have the V8, but I'll link that in the card right here for you guys to check out so you guys can see what's going on in that third row seating. But we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys want to too. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, guys, and now on to the driving portion of the review. And obviously you probably are able to tell just by looking at the title of this video that this thing is going to drive fantastic. But I recently have been doing like a speed bump test, so we're going to test how this thing does over these speed bumps. All my car videos that I do, we go 5 miles an hour. And just like butter, this thing is fantastic going over these speed bumps. I mean, what do you expect? It is an X7 after all, even though it is an M50i, so you would expect maybe that it does ride a little bit firm, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely not. If you guys are in comfort mode, it rides like a cloud. If you guys put it into sport mode, that's when it starts riding a little bit firmer. So it's pretty much tailored exactly how you want it to be, and you can tailor it exactly how you want it to be. But let's pull out onto the main road. Take a listen to this V8 here. I'm not even getting on it, but it just sounds so good. I mean, I have not floored this, and I probably will not floor this in this video. Reason being, it is wet out, and I don't want to mess with it, but it sounds absolutely fantastic. And when you put it into sport mode, obviously it's going to downshift, and it's going to give me the throttle response. It's going to give it a little bit more crazy throttle response. It's going to tighten up the suspension. It's going to tighten up the steering. I mean, it's going to turn it into pretty much an M vehicle. I mean, I know it's not a total M vehicle. It doesn't have like the super firm riding suspension of like an M vehicle, but it will tighten up the suspension, and it will turn into a pretty legit luxury performance SUV. I mean, you can hear it. It's downshifting when I'm hitting on the brake. I'm not even doing any of that downshifting. But the Sport Plus mode, it will hold gears longer. It'll tighten up the suspension. It'll tighten up the steering. And it will give you obviously a sharpened throttle response as well. But I'm going to put it back into comfort mode because, I mean, I think the majority of you guys will probably be driving this in comfort mode, just because, you know, you're picking up your kids, or there's the occasional time where you're going to, you know, rip on it. If it's a nice day, it's sunny out, and your kid's in the back like, Dad, rip it, rip it, rip it, or Mom, rip it, rip it, rip it, and you floor it, they're really going to be put back in their seat. They're going to be like, man, that was insanely fast. And you're gonna be like, man, that was insanely fast, because this thing is insanely fast for a 3-row SUV. I have not driven a GLS 63, so I would assume that that thing's probably pretty dang insane as well. But I mean, this kind of gives you more of the best of both worlds, because I would assume that those AMG seats are probably not going to be as comfortable as the seats that are in this X7, and I would also assume that the suspension in that AMG is probably not going to be as good or as smooth riding as the suspension. But like I said, I'm just assuming, so I don't know. Maybe that AMG is a two-faced mamma jamma, and it will go into the most comfortable mode you can ever be in, and then it can also go into the firmest mode you can ever be in. I mean, I would not put it past AMG or Mercedes for them to be able to do that, so I'm not doubting that by any means. I'm just saying that this thing just really can ride like a cloud, or it can ride like a cloud, but it will also be like a firmer suspension. You can throw this thing around some crazy curves. Reason being that I know that is because I did do a video with an X7 40i with the M Sport package, and I pushed that thing on the back roads, and even that thing was really fast. Like, yeah, you know, the horsepower figures of that, they don't really sound all that crazy, but once you like get in that X7 40i and you really start ripping it, you're like, man, this thing's actually, it's fast enough. And for those of you guys who are crazy like me, this is for you. It's got the V8. It sounds better than that 6-cylinder, even though that 6-cylinder in the 40i still sounds really good, but you cannot beat the sound of a V8. You cannot beat the performance of this V8. So I mean, it's all like what you guys want. Do you guys want something that is still extremely comfortable and it will behave like a 40i when you're not ripping on it, or but it can also behave like an M car when you want it to as well. So if you guys are crazy about performance and you want something that's going to absolutely rip, you're going to want to get the M50i. If you guys aren't so crazy about performance, you're like, you know, I'm probably never going to rip on it, but I still want something that's got a decent amount of power and it looks good, get the 40i X7 with the M Sport package, because it gives you the looks. It'll black it out. It'll give you the 22-inch wheels. It basically gives you the same brakes, or the same look of the brake caliper as this M50i, but it just doesn't have the same oomph that this one does have. It's about a 200 horsepower difference between this and the 40i. So for those of you guys who are crazy about power like me, you're gonna want to get the M50i. But like I said, right now I'm just cruising, you know, I'm not getting on it, I'm just cruising down the highway. It's got effortless power. I mean, I barely put my foot into the accelerator and it will accelerate to speed extremely fast. Even like barely getting on it, you'll be like, man, this thing really has some effortless power to it. And that's just the best way that I can describe it. It's got effortless, elegant power. I mean, it's just silky smooth. You can't feel the gear shifts. It's classy power, if that makes sense. So it's not like, so I did a video on the Dodge Durango Hellcat. That thing is like a jackhammer. I mean, you can't really compare the two, but I'm going to compare the two. That thing, I mean, yeah, I mean, it rides very good. I can't lie about that, but that thing is performance oriented. So it does not have elegant power. This thing has elegant power. That thing has raw American horsepower. This thing's got effortless power. Like, listen. I mean, just the gear shifts are so silky smooth. I mean, that's the best way that I can describe it. And we're going into a school zone here, so put your foot down on the brake. You're like, man, that thing really has the brakes too. It's got the brakes, it's got the performance. I mean, it's a BMW. What do you expect? It's got everything. I mean, it really does. It's got really comfortable seats. It's got all the horsepower you could ever want. It's got the brakes. It's got the suspension. I mean, it literally has everything. And that's why this thing is like the Swiss Army knife, you know. And a lot of people think, you know, the Swiss Army knife it's got everything, but it's not good at anything. This thing is pretty dang good at everything, in my personal opinion. We're gonna do another little acceleration here once we get out of this school zone. But one thing I don't like is it's got that lane keep assist, so it kind of like pulls you around the road. You can also turn that off if you want to do that. I played with the paddle shifters a little bit and they're super responsive. I mean, after all, like I said, it is a BMW, and I did do a video on that 40i, and the paddle shifter response even on the 40i is extremely good. So if that's what you're wondering about, like the paddle shifter response, it is lightning fast. I mean, even on the M50i, I know it's not an M vehicle, but the paddle shifter response is instantaneous, which I really like. Speakers on this vehicle, I mean, it's got the 16 speaker Harman Kardon sound system. It sounds awesome. One thing I wish it was at night so I could see the LED lights in the panoramic moonroof. I think that would be really cool to see. But I can overlay a picture on screen right now so you guys can kind of see what I am talking about. I really like the X7 M50i, and that's why I think it is the Mac Daddy BMW. I mean, you can go off-roading if you want to in this car. You can take this thing down the Autobahn and absolutely rip. And that's, like I said, that's why I think it's the Mac Daddy BMW. And the reason being is because, you know, you can take a 7 Series on the Autobahn. I'm talking about the sedan, but you cannot take a 7 Series off-road or on some back roads that, you know, have something that require a little bit more ground clearance. This thing, you can. I mean, it's got the ground clearance. You can raise up the suspension. You can lower the suspension. You can tailor this car, like I said, exactly how you want it. And that's why it is the Mac Daddy BMW. Now, it's not the Mac Daddy M car because, you know, we haven't tested like a BMW X7 M competition, because that would probably be the Mac Daddy BMW M car. But this is the Mac Daddy BMW in my personal opinion. It's top of the line. It's the X7, so the 7 is above the 5, the 7 is above the 3, the 7 is above the 6. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's the top of the line in that sense, but it's also top of the line. I mean, just look at the interior. So while we are talking about it being the top of the line, it is also top of the line expensive. So the MSRP is $106,095. So it is top of the line expensive, but you know, I mean, what do you expect? It can do everything. It's super fast. It's super comfortable. It really is perfect. Almost, you know what I'm saying? I think it looks really good as well. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm really gunning for 50,000 subscribers, like I said, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. So please give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section down below, and hit that subscribe button. But with all that said, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.